We're back, baby.
Hello.
Hello. How are you?
I'm doing great. I'm hoping that we're doing better this week.
That definitely
But
makes sense. I completely agree.
as far as I can tell, I think we are.
I think that we had a minor hiccup with an audio issue last time.
I think that's a minor understatement saying minor, but we also don't need to dwell on it. Hi, I'm Jesse.
I am Ken.
I didn't see you over there.
I am Brohammington, or Ken.
And I'm Jester Dujour or Jesse.
Heck yeah. And this is 7.5, episode 7.5 of the Sunflounders Chronicles.
That's right.
Sunflounder. There's only
Sunflounder Chronicles. There's only one.
There's only one Sunflounder.
But there's a lot of Chronicles.
There's a lot of Chronicles.
Yeah.
The what do you call it? And the Sunflounder is in the middle of the screen.
It is.
If you haven't noticed.
Hey, that's him.
He's there. So Archazia Island's out.
It is.
Archazia's Island?
Archazia's Island.
Or Archazia.
Archie's Island.
Archie's Island. Oh man, it's been a pretty busy weekend for the Sunflounder or the Sunflower team.
Yeah, it definitely has. I mean, I think it's been a pretty busy weekend for everybody, Lorcana wise. Well, with it being release weekend.
Yes, you're not wrong.
Yeah.
We did a live double case opening on Friday. That was a lot of fun.
Oh yeah, I think I caught some of that. You almost ate a card, didn't you?
Yeah. I told the chat we found an enchanted in one of the packs.
Mm-hmm. Congratulations. Well done.
Thank you. It was an enchanted bolt, by the way. But I told the chat if they guessed what enchanted it was, and if they guessed it right, I would eat it. They did not guess it right.
You moved too fast. I was starting to type out. I was just going to type out a message with every enchanted.
Yeah.
Spam the chat and make sure I got it right.
That's
but you moved too fast. My typing thumbs are a little slow.
That is actually extremely funny.
But yeah, you did the two cases live. You found that one enchanted. Did you find anything else good when you were doing your polls?
Well, we got a play set of all the legendary, we got a play set of all the relevant legendary cards.
Oh wow! Okay.
So 4 Tommies and 4 Scrooge. Those were the big ones.
Yeah, those
are
from what I've heard. Those are already starting to put in the work.
Right. Yes. They are quite the what do you call that? They are quite the cards. Who would have ever thought? I think I just changed the screen.
It is. I think it's just you. Hey.
Wow. Hey.
Now I'm back.
Sorry about that.
It's all right.
Sorry about that.
It's all right. I understand.
But it's so we had we opened up a lot. We had 2 enchanteds. We got the All Is Found.
2. Okay, that's the other one you found.
Yeah, right. Yeah, we found
nice.
we got the All Is Found, and then we got the Bolt, which is pretty good.
Yeah.
And then what was this? We got something else that I was pretty excited for. The Hercules card, Return of Hercules.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what I don't know what I want to do with that card yet, but there is definitely something.
Remind me what that card is.
It's It's a 5-drop inkable card.
Okay.
That says you and your opponent both reveal a card and then play it for free. Well, character card.
Oh,
right?
Okay, and that's the it's an emerald.
Yes.
Okay.
It is an emerald card. So I'm not sure what I want to do with it yet.
Right.
But I do know that I want to do something.
You want to play it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because I like playing free stuff.
Fair.
You know.
Fair. Can't possibly relate.
You don't like to play free stuff?
Yeah, no, I hate it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Those silly Mufasas.
Mufasa.
Just doesn't give
not
enough.
Not a fan whatsoever.
It just doesn't give enough free stuff.
Exactly. I had a question about that the return of Hercules.
Yeah, I might got an answer for you.
So how does that work? I mean, you play that card. Do you as the player that played that card, do you have to reveal your character card first?
Yes.
Or
yes, that's exactly how it works. So
okay.
You play the card. You play the card, and then you announce I'm going to reveal this character and play this character. Mm-hmm. And since you are the active player, you have to resolve the card's ability first, and then your opponent resolves they resolve their end of the thing. So they could choose to play nothing.
Right.
They're like, oh, you have a Maleficent, and I don't want to play my Tamatoa because if I play it for free, you're just going to kill it.
And that was going to be the next question, I guess, that I had there.
Okay.
So, for example, right, say you're playing a Christmas deck.
Yes.
Right? So you play out Return of Hercules.
Uh-huh. You
can reveal a card, and you and your opponent each reveal and play a card. You reveal and play out the Maleficent Dragon. Right?
Right.
You play that card.
Uh-huh.
Do you have to, or is it a way because the bag works, do you immediately have to, do you immediately have to, choose which card you're banishing with the dragon? Or, you know what I mean? Because if they're waiting for that.
Okay, so here's how.
I guess I'm trying to think of the right way of wording it.
Right, and let me help you out here a little bit. So the way that, let's say Return of Hercules works with the Maleficent Dragon, right? Mm-hmm. You have to completely resolve the action card before you can pull character abilities out of the bag. Okay? Okay. So your opponent, or you, let's say I'm playing Christmas, you're playing, let's say, red-blue for example. And I quest with my Robin Hood Sharpshooter. I reveal the Return of Hercules. I play it for free, right? And then I show a Maleficent Dragon. Mm-hmm. Now, Maleficent Dragon, although it has entered the field, the ability has gone into the bag, but the whole action card of Return of Hercules isn't completely resolved yet, because it's still waiting for your opponent to reveal a card and choose. Okay. Or whatnot. So then, let's say your opponent does say, okay, I also reveal a Maleficent Dragon, right? Yeah. So then they play it. Now both abilities are in the bag. You are the active player, so now you choose what you want to banish with your Maleficent Dragon. And then after doing so, your opponent's ability comes out of the bag. Okay. So in retrospect, in that situation, both dragons probably end up banishing each other. Right. So I hope I answered your question good enough.
I think I understand, but at least for right now, my main goal or my main plan for dealing with that card is just hoping I don't wind up in that situation.
I don't think that...
Or at least not trying to outthink that situation.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I mean, that's the other thing, too, is, if your opponent does so happen to play the Maleficent Dragon, right? Yeah. And then let's just play a character with Ward. We can do that.
All right.
Yeah.
Just have Ward, dog.
Yeah, Ward's kind of your...
Skill issue.
Hey, Ward's kind of your thing, right?
It's not my thing.
I like it. I do need to touch base with, the rules people, or people that are more, in depth with the rules. Yeah. Because I do want to know, if I play the Return of Hercules, if I can shift a character with it. Does that make sense?
It does.
I don't know.
I would assume no.
but it's still
because
you're still playing.
Shifting is a different way of playing you know what I mean? It like at least my understanding is that shifting is not playing a character.
It's still playing the character, right?
Is it? Or
because
I mean,
because if you think of it in the aspect of like you are playing a character, you still get like on play effects.
Are there? Okay, and that's I was about to say. I guess there are definitely Floodborn cards that have when you play this character,
Right.
if you used shift to play them.
Right. So I mean, like it would be. Yeah, I don't know. It would be interesting. It's a card that I most definitely want to mess around with.
For sure.
But yeah. So yeah, the case opening went really. It was a lot of fun. There was a lot of viewers, and
that's great.
And they had the opportunity of making me eat a bolt.
Yeah.
But they didn't capitalize on it. So maybe next time. So. Moving past the cases that I opened, because that was the highlight of my Friday.
Yeah.
What were you doing on Friday?
Working.
Fair enough. Moving on.
But then after that, I was able to go to one of our local stores. Had a starter event, a release event.
Okay.
It was you got one of the starter decks, the pack that comes with it, obviously, and then 4 more.
Right.
Packs. And yeah, I've had some fun with that. I wound up with the Ruby Sapphire starter deck, the Belle and the Beast.
Right.
It was my first time really playing like an items heavy deck.
Right.
I have pretty much avoided that for all of my time playing Lorcana. I tend to leave that for usually jokingly say I tend to leave that for smarter players.
Sure.
You know, because there's a lot of dealing with items of like having to properly sequence things and this and that and whatnot. I much prefer, a good like character deck where all you got to do is play it out and turn sideways.
And like not sequence like items, playing items, banishing items.
Right. The less that I have to worry about chaining this into that.
Yeah, now we're talking.
Better. That being said, just playing a little bit around with that starter deck.
Yeah.
There's a lot of fun in
there. Yeah, absolutely.
I definitely enjoyed even that sort of more limited items deck. I enjoyed that a lot more than I thought I was going to.
Right.
May have to try it out this set. You
heard it here first, folks. Jester Dujour is now a Ruby Sapphire player.
Let's not go that far.
So you played the Ruby Sapphire pre-con, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And we had, and like I said, we had the chance to augment it.
Sure.
I did not really take advantage of that.
Sure.
I think at most I like traded out maybe 5 cards.
Heck yeah.
That being said, 2 of them that I did trade out that I found in my packs are that the uninkable 1-drop Sapphire Dawson that's from this set. Right. I love that card already. He was super good for me, at least in that limited format. I don't know how good he's going to be going forward.
Remind me what the Dawson does?
Absolutely. He's an uninkable 1-drop.
Okay.
1 strength, 2 willpower. But when he's out there, once during your turn, when a card goes into your inkwell, you can look at the top card of your deck and decide if it stays on top or goes to the bottom.
Yeah. I mean, it seems fine.
Especially in a limited event like that.
Right.
Being able to call your next card like that was coming in pretty handy for me.
So there is, I mean, like I think that manipulating the top card of your deck to where you can control like what you're drawing, what you need, you can kind of filter out, especially in like the red blue lists. Mm-hmm. You can kind of filter out, like if your hand's like heavy on uninkables, you can filter out what you draw and what you don't draw.
Exactly.
Kind of thing. I've been messing around with like a heavy red-blue items list.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's quite there yet, but I think that it definitely has potential.
Yeah.
So the red-blue pre-con is what you played. What did you think about the other pre-con?
But the other one, it seems fun.
Yeah.
It seemed really nice. I think illusions are really neat. I also think they are definitely a trap. I don't think illusions are nearly as strong as I think it is very easy to convince yourself that illusions are going to be much better than what they are.
Right.
Especially when any action card that you can target an illusion, they're gone.
Right
that
on.
was my the little, I think it's a sapphire uninkable 1-drop action card, like Helping Hand or something or other, is chosen character gains support, draw a card.
Heck yeah.
Doing that to essentially just dragon fire away illusions for 1 ink.
Right.
It was nice.
I think that that's.
If you can get a little damage on people out there, and then play that like ever as before.
Sure.
So you can remove damage from chosen characters.
I mean, you don't.
It's nice.
You definitely have a very good point there. So on Saturday.
Yeah.
I went to I drove to meet up with one of our other teammates.
Oh yeah.
And we were doing some playtesting. He was playing Amethyst Steel, and I was playing my wonky green blue. Shift Baja Shift or whatever.
We played that a little bit.
Yeah, good deck. Well, it's getting there. It has legs. It has very strong legs.
It is by all definitions a deck.
It is indeed a deck. Let's just say like Sapphire Coil plus like Under the Sea is pretty good. But the 4-drop, I think is a 4-drop Iago with
the Spectral Parrot.
Yeah.
Whatever it is. Yeah.
That thing's so good. It's a
good card.
It's a 4/6.
Unless I have anything that can target it.
Sure.
You know what I mean? And that's right. It's good unless it isn't, I guess.
I agree. I do agree. But like I don't know, man. It's the stats on it are insane. It's like one of those things like if you don't have an answer to it, that thing is answering everything on your board.
Sure.
That's kind of where I'm at with it.
Sure. If you've got, say, for example, the new Gantu that's out there to make actions cost more.
Yes.
And you start throwing illusions out there, I'm gonna be in trouble.
Yeah. The Gantu's a really good card.
I'm shocked to hear it.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever paid so much to play an item in my life.
Mm-hmm.
I was paying like 5 for popsicles. That's unfortunate. That's a little inflation, baby.
Man,
they hit the taxes,
Yeah.
The Emerald. So Gabe's brother was there too. So yeah, and he was playing an Emerald Steel variant.
Nice.
And
I need to get an Emerald Steel deck put together.
Emerald Steel is so good.
Yeah,
it's so good. The Pete is actually way better than what I thought he was gonna be.
The Pete,
the Emerald Steel dual ink that shifts, I think, for 3 or 4, is a 6-drop, and then whenever he's exerted, pirates get resist 1 or something like that.
Oh yeah. Okay.
I think that's how it reads.
Something along those. I remember looking at it because after we're done tonight, I'm going home and building my Emerald Steel Pirates deck.
I like it
for League this week.
I think it should be fine.
Yeah.
I think it should be fine.
I don't know. Hey man, I'm gonna have a good time.
Yeah. Yeah, the Gantu was just so ridiculous.
Yeah.
But the thing that about Gantu though is like Oswald is still playing items for free.
Mm-hmm.
And
right, I mean, there's always going to be workarounds.
Right. You know, that's the thing.
That's the beauty of the game is the balance.
Right. I do wish that it did not. I still wish that even though you can play the card for free, I still wish it was taxed by the Gantu. I think that would make the Gantu a lot more playable.
Mm-hmm.
Because a 2/4 is like it's low stats, so yeah. I mean the stats on it are not that impressive, if you will. Sure. Now it's like brawl costs 5 and it takes a turn off or whatever.
Yeah.
But like the Pete's not gonna the Gantu is not gonna do much. And against like the blue steel list that was like annihilating everybody over the weekend.
Yeah.
We'll get to that in a minute.
Yeah.
But like,
put a pin in that.
Yeah. We'll pin that message here. We'll talk about that in a minute because it's insane. But just the turn 1 bell, being able to sing Strength of a Raging Fire, and your turn 4 play from Emerald Steel is just gone.
Sure.
And it doesn't really tax anything anymore. So you use the bell, you take out the Gantu for free, and then you just start playing items again. So, I mean, like, I do wish that it was taxed, so I don't know. It just makes that more. It makes that specific line not insanely good. And so it's like, it's good, but it's not, like, insanely good. Just, like, generating free infinite value with, like, Bell and Oswald. We'll get to that in a minute. It's a good time. It's a really good time. But yeah, so the playtesting went really well. Lycos 14 put together a Ruby Steel Mulan deck that she was testing out a little bit, and there is a way where Ruby Steel can lock somebody out of the game, and we figured that out.
I'm looking forward to seeing it happen against not me.
Right. Yeah, I don't want to be on the receiving end of that either.
No.
So, with like Mushu, right? Where whenever one of your characters challenges, they get resist 2.
Mm-hmm.
And if they banish the character in a challenge, you gain 2 lore.
Sure.
There is a 3-drop Li Shang that can just challenge ready characters. So, if you go Li Shang on turn 3 and Mushu on turn 4, Li Shang can just 1-for-1 answer anything your opponent plays without it being exerted.
I don't like this.
And Li Shang also has resist 2, so Mushu gives him resist 4. He has resist 4 when challenging.
Okay.
So, like if you play it,
that's a real issue.
It can be, right? Obviously we're living in magical Christmas land.
Sure.
We're living in magical Mushu land at this point. But like, if you go Li Shang, if you're just playing the game, right? You're just playing the game like you would, and you go Li Shang on turn 3, and then turn 4 you play Dude. I think Mushu's a 5-drop. So like on curve, like your Li Shang can just challenge anything that's readied. And you're gaining 2 lore, and he's not going to die. Or he's not going to get banished, I'm sorry. He's not going to get banished because he has resist 4 when challenging. And he's a 3. I think he's like a 3/2 or something like that. It's ridiculous.
Not a fan of that.
Why?
Because I like to play.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I mean, like, it's...
Because it feels bad, man.
I think...
when I put on characters and they always get banished.
Oh, it's not that bad.
Sure.
Come on.
Sure.
But so Ruby Steel, I will say, Ruby Steel, the set is looking very promising. Mm-hmm. We're still working on optimizing the list. But Li Shang and Mushu is nothing to scoff at. I will say that.
Yeah.
I was playing a red-blue, or testing a red-blue item-centric deck with the 5-drop, or the 4-drop Prince John, where you can exert him to...
Oh, for sure, yeah.
Yeah, a good card.
Yeah.
So one of my favorite things that I was doing against Emerald Steel, because I don't know if you know this, but a lot of the cards in Emerald Steel are all, like, most of it is all villains. Did you know that?
Yeah.
So I was playing Sword of Justice, or Sword of Truth, I think.
Right. Yeah.
It's a
or is it the sword, or is it the sword release? No, the sword release is an action. Never mind.
So
yeah, you're talking. Yeah, yes.
Right. So it's just a 4-drop uninkable item that banish a villain.
Yeah.
Very clear text. So the cool thing about this card is, you don't have to exert it to banish a villain character. So I would play it for free with the Prince John. I would banish a villain, right? And then I would use like a Fan the Flames or something to ready my Prince John, exert him again, because you can play it from your discard.
Yeah.
Because that's fair. And
sure,
you could, yeah. So, yeah, you just play it for free. You banish something, you ready him, you exert him again, you play it again from the from the discard for free, and then you banish another character.
Yeah.
So I mean, like, it was fun, and I think that there might be something there, especially with like the Tamatoas and stuff too. I was just like, it was a good time.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of work that needs done on it, but I mean, overall, it was pretty good. So speaking of testing, what are you testing?
What am I testing?
Yeah. Talk to us.
I haven't really tested anything yet.
Okay.
Mostly just because I haven't taken the time to actually get anything like built up or anything. I actually, that was part of my weekend this weekend. It was getting cards organized, and I'm still not done.
Sure.
I wound up taking a break. I've got like half of set 5, I think, still to get organized, and then start rebuilding decks.
Okay.
But the 2 that I'm looking at is, like I said, I want to build that Emerald Steel Pirates, just because it's going to be a fun themed deck for League.
We like those for League nights.
The other, as you know, I've been playing a Mufasa deck.
I like it.
The good old classic Amber Ruby Mufasa deck.
Right.
I think there's something in Amber Emerald for me. I don't know yet.
Oh, right. Yeah.
But I've been kind of trying to look online, kind of start at least theory crafting a little bit with it. I'm hoping to maybe get it built by League this week.
Sure.
But we'll see.
Yeah, makes sense.
We'll say. But that's kind of the two main ones that I'm looking at right now.
Right on.
It's kind of my fun deck and hopefully a more serious competitive deck.
Right. Yeah. Speaking of Emerald, I do think that deck is pretty good.
Yeah.
And
especially, not to keep foreshadowing what we're about to talk about.
Yeah.
But there was an Amber Emerald deck that did rather well this weekend.
Yeah.
And I think, I mean, it's just a character deck. It didn't run Mufasa by any means. It was just a pure character deck, Amber Emerald aggro. And I think
it didn't run Mufasa's?
It did not. I was just looking at it before we went live to make sure.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know, it's like one of those things that whenever you see an Amber all character deck, usually you see the king in there.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, why not?
I mean, like, it's just free value, right?
But at the same time, it ran my favorite Amber card that the Mufasa deck that I've been playing doesn't run. So there's that.
Talk to me. Which card is that?
Chernabog, baby.
The 9-drop?
I love him.
The 9-drop or the 5-drop?
The 9.
Yeah. Well, the 5.
There's only one Chernabog.
No, there's another one. It's an Amethyst, though. It came out of set 7. I'm not exactly sure what it is.
Oh, okay, you're right. I forgot there was a new one. But yes, we are definitely talking about the uninkable 9-drop that puts all of your characters from the discard back into the deck. That is the Chernobog I love.
Right. Yeah, the 9-drop Chernobog is actually very good. It is a... I mean, like, the Turbo Chernobog list looks extremely fun. I haven't played it.
Yeah.
But we could definitely build it.
Yeah.
Let's build it.
If you build it, they will come.
If I build it, Jesse will play it.
That's generally... I mean, hey, man, I just like to play.
Absolutely. Yeah, so...
If you put a deck in my hands, I'll try and play it.
I'll try, yeah.
Why not?
Right. I mean,
except for one, but,
yeah.
We don't need to talk about that.
Yeah. I have not seen anybody testing out Ruby Amethyst this set.
I've seen a person.
Really?
But I don't know how serious they are. I think they were just kind of like trying to hold on to the dream,
Yeah, it's Ruby Amethyst Isn't Dead is the name of the deck list.
Yep.
I'm actually kind of excited for a shift in the meta away from Ruby Amethyst being one of the... There's just...
Oh, man, you're telling me.
I'm pretty excited for it. I don't care how many blue steel or red-blue players I have to play against. I am just glad it's not Ruby Amethyst.
Now, granted, I'm biased, and you and I I think we've had this conversation off mic multiple times before.
Probably.
But I would rather play against, and this is a controversial opinion, all right? This is a hot take or whatever. I would rather play against, like, the old-fashioned Bucky discard.
Yes.
I would rather play against that every single game than play against Ruby Amethyst. The level of I'm trying to think of the right way of putting it. The bad feelings that I get from having cards ripped out of my hand is nowhere near as bad as the bad feelings I get from that moment of hope of playing a character only to see it get banished.
Yeah, it's just like we're gonna just
like
banish.
I'd rather play discard than control any day.
Right. And that's we got a comment here from Lycos14. That's some quite negative feelings about old Ruby Amethyst there, Jester.
Yeah, you know what? That's true. That's true, but I'm going to stand by. My feelings are valid.
Ooh.
You know what?
Ooh.
That being said, if you're a Ruby Amethyst player, that's totally fine. There's no wrong way of playing Lorcana as long as you're playing within the rules and in a good spirit of having fun.
Yeah, as long as you're having fun.
But also don't play Ruby Amethyst.
Yeah. As long as you're having fun and it doesn't matter if your opponent's having fun or not, I guess.
Yeah. Exactly.
I mean, I don't think that there was anything. This is another hot take since we're gonna be throwing hot.
Let's do it, man.
Let's do a hot take segment. So if you got any hot takes, let me know in the chat here.
Yeah, get in those comments, gang.
This is my hot take. I would rather play against pre-errated Bucky than Hiram Flavorshim every day of the week.
Oof. I don't know if I'd go that far or not. But
Hiram
I will say
Hiram's
you swap out
busted.
Hiram Flavorshim for Maui Half Shark, and you've absolutely got a deal.
Well, the crazy.
But that's just because that card, not a fan.
Hey,
but,
the crazy thing is, they're both played in the same deck. I mean, like
it's true.
I mean and then here's the other thing. Workshop this weekend has proven to be more of a problem than the also ever feared Sapphire Coil.
Really? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So with that, we have teased it quite a bit.
Yeah. Let's move into it.
Why don't you tell me what happened this weekend?
All right. So SSG, Southside Gaming, and I do believe Florida, put on a 10-case tournament where 10 case tournament.
You're saying 10 case.
10
not
case.
10K.
No.
10 case.
10 case.
Oh my goodness.
That's 40 booster boxes.
That's a lot.
That's a lot of boxes.
That's
so the and set 7 was legal. So I mean, obviously there was a lot of hype around
set 7 was legal?
Yes.
It just came out on Friday.
I know, but the cool thing is for shops that if you make a tournament, a big tournament like this, where the product was just released and nobody has product, then they're coming to win product and buy singles.
Okay, fair enough.
So I mean, like, it helps the store out, it helps the players out, right? So like if you make I think top 16, if you make top 16, you're getting stuff.
Okay.
Now I mean, granted, there's 200 plus players.
Yeah, that's a lot.
And there was a cut to top 8. But if you make top 8, you're getting a lot of stuff.
Sure.
Sorry. So that being said, the first place list was a blue steel items list.
Okay.
That utilized Oswald,
yeah.
Yeah, the Oswald and Bell and the songs and all this other stuff. I think they played 22 or 23 items.
Oh my goodness.
But so they were using Maurice's workshop, which is crazy because we haven't seen Maurice's workshop for 3 or 4 sets.
Right.
And essentially what was happening here is, you play the Oswald. If you have the workshop in play, anytime that you ink a card and you flip an item, you can pay 1 to draw a card. So it's just infinite value off the Oswald. It's just infinite value off the Oswald. And then you have the Bell to sing Strength and Storm Rage on. And then I think they were playing some number of copies of Zeus to...
I just pulled it up.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah, they're running 3 Game of Zeus's.
Yeah.
20 items.
Yeah, so...
My goodness.
So, I mean, you're inking... With this list, you're inking multiple cards in a turn. With, Fishbone Quill, inking for turn. And it's just you just generate infinite value of items, and then you just Tommy dime. It's just Tommy dime for the win or whatever.
Yeah.
Which is, I mean, it's really good. It's a really good list. It's a really good list. And they ended up taking first place over Red Blue. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure if we're in a spot to where we can say that Red Blue beats Blue Steel anymore. I think Blue Steel.
Fair enough, because that used to be kind of the.
They used to be
known.
Right. So it's one of those things where Blue Steel wasn't really viable because of Red Blue. Because Red Blue is such a large portion of the meta pool, right? Mm-hmm. But now, I think now maybe the tables have turned. And more people are swapping to Blue Steel because it might be at a spot to where if you're playing the no-wheel Blue Steel list and you're just playing all of these items with Oswald and Workshop, it just generates infinite more value than the red-blue list can.
Sure.
And I maybe not. I'm not quite sure. But, yeah, so...
it's also still very early in the set.
Right, and that was one of the things that I said at the beginning of... Or not at the beginning... But that's one of the things that I said after watching Oswald do work yesterday.
Yeah.
I don't think going into a big tournament now, Oswald will be able to live past turn 2. I mean,
yeah.
I think that
if you see Oswald, it's on site.
I think that yesterday has very much proven that you have to respect the rabbit.
Yeah.
And it was before the bell, people were playing cards like Fire the Cannons and Twin Fire.
Mm-hmm.
But then after Bell got released or leaked or whatever, lists have more strayed towards the 3-drop songs. That if you don't have Bell on 1, you don't have a sufficient answer to the Oswald on turn 2. So it's kind of a hit or miss thing,
Sure.
So I think...
Well, there's...
I'm just talking about in those color packs.
Right. Okay, yeah.
In the mirror match or whatever, if your opponent plays Oswald and you don't have a bell to sing the song on turn 2, then it's kind of a problem. Kind of a problem.
A little bit.
But yeah, so those were the top 2 lists. I didn't really look at the red blue list, but I don't think that much has changed outside of like sapphire coils.
I say I started to pull it up. It seemed I don't have the most experience with the Ruby Sapphire decks in general.
Right.
But it didn't seem too out of the ordinary.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think that they trim on some numbers of the 8-drop Tamatoa, play the 6-drop Tamatoas, and then they're playing sapphire coils. I think that is pretty much the only major changes.
Yeah.
There was actually a pretty good spread of decks in top 8. I'm just gonna go to ink decks really quick.
Yeah.
And that way I can bring up some other ones.
While you're pulling that up,
yeah,
I'm gonna take a minute just to remind everybody. We were talking about going to your local shops, getting singles. Sometimes your local shop is not going to have those single cards you need. TCGplayer.com is going to be the best place to go and get that. And we do have an affiliate link. If you go through that, everything goes right back into the podcast, right back into the team. It's just another way you can help support us.
And bring you the content that you like. Speaking of the TCG Player affiliate link, we have the QR code down in the bottom right. So if you scan the QR...
Is that what that is?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
nice.
It's a TCG Player link. So if you scan that QR code, it will take you straight to our thingamabob.
Yeah.
So, yeah, pretty cool stuff there. So we got Zan Syed and Jeremy Bertioni. Shout out to those guys. Amazing players. Were the ones that were playing the Blue Steel items list. And then in top 8, we also have... So top 8 consisted of 3 Blue Steel.
Okay.
2 Blue Red. Emerald Steel, Amethyst Steel, and an Amber Emerald list is what I'm seeing. So, I mean, like...
So you said...
The meta's of actually pretty decent spot. So 3 Blue Steel, 2 Blue Red, and then Emerald Steel, Amethyst Steel, Amber Emerald. And I know that you mentioned Amber Emerald earlier, so I'm just going to pull this up, and we're going to take a look at it.
You said there was... Yeah, there was only one Amber Emerald deck in the top 8. Yeah, well, there was, at least according to Ink Decks, there was only 4 of them total there.
Amber Emerald?
Yeah.
Yeah, that definitely makes sense.
Meanwhile, yeah, your Sapphire Steel, there were 3 of them in the top 8. But
right.
30 of them showed up.
That's actually, if there's 3 of them in the top 8 and 30 of them showed up,
that's not bad by any means.
It's like a 10% conversion rate, right?
Yeah. But you said, so we've got 32 Sapphire, Sapphire Steel, and 29 Ruby Sapphire.
Wow.
Showing up.
Wow. So, yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we are looking at the Amber Emerald list right now. And, yeah, there are no Mufasas in here.
No.
That's wild. This is a Turbo Chernobog list.
Yeah, it looks fun.
Yeah. So essentially the thing about the Turbo Chernobog list is like you purposely fill your graveyard.
Your what now?
Or your discard. Your discard.
Oh, okay.
Not graveyard, discard. So you fill your
How could it be a graveyard if nobody dies?
True. They are placed in banish. But so they're just playing cards that, like, whenever you play this card, you put the top 3 cards of your deck into your discard. The Tramp card synergizes a lot with it. I think does it cost 1 less for each character you have in play or something like that?
The Big Tramp, yes.
Yeah. So you can play this on turn. You can play this like turn 4 for 3 ink if you have 4 characters in play. And then you draw X amount of cards, and you discard X amount of cards, where X is the number of characters you control.
Oh, my goodness. Sorry, I need to apologize. I'm going to make a quick correction.
Yeah.
Because earlier I kept referring to Chernobog as an uninkable 9-drop. He's 10.
Yeah, okay.
He's 10, but he's 9/9. That's where I was getting my 9s from.
Right,
I had forgotten that.
But, so...
Sorry.
Yeah, no, you're good. So when you play this... You can draw a card for each other character you have in play. then choose and discard that many cards. So essentially, you just draw a bunch, you discard a bunch, and then you play Chernobog for free.
That's great.
It's
because you play Chernobog for free and then put all of that discard right back into your deck.
And then we do it again.
Yep.
Which is, I mean, like the deck definitely has legs. A lot of legs because I mean it's playing a lot of like ladies and tramps. So you know,
it's playing those Rapunzels, so getting draw off of that.
Right.
You've got
Lilo Escape Artist. You've
got Daisy Duck, of course.
What is Merryweather?
Merryweather.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's a inkable 1-drop 1/2. When you play this character, you can pay 1 ink to give a character +2 power this turn.
Right.
Or strength. Is it strength or power?
I believe it is strength.
I get those confused. I need to do some research.
With that, it's got the 2-cost Ursula that's in there.
Right.
You know, I mean, good stuff. It seems like just a really good, straightforward characters deck.
Yeah, it's just exactly. It's very straightforward. It's low to the ground, and then you're just dropping free 9/9s.
Right.
Like Quest for 3.
Yeah.
How do you get rid of a 9/9 Jester Dujour?
Dragonfire.
Sure. I don't know that anybody's playing that card right now.
Oh, well, they should.
Or
Out of Order. There you go.
Oh, bingo. Nailed it.
Yeah.
Talk about good cards. So there's a lot of, the meta was kind of, I don't know that it's like, I don't think it's like a 2-deck meta. I think that there's I think that the meta is pretty good right now, and I think that there are obviously some strong lines of play certain decks can do, like blue steel with like Oswald's and everything else. I mean, every deck's gonna have their like absolute bonkers of capabilities, right?
Right.
I mean, we've seen it with like Mufasa and Raya being able to drop 8-cost characters on turn 4.
Yeah.
And all that, all that kind of jazz. We've seen it with the blue-green list I was playing, where you have Hero Hamada shifted on and
that
Claire.
Blue-green list was silly. Okay.
It's pretty good.
You and I were playing the other day. Just to let everybody know how silly and infuriating this deck was.
Yeah.
You and I were playing the other day.
We were.
And you had that Hero Hamada out.
Yep.
The one that, to remind everybody at home, if you have a Floodborn character, if they are shifted out, if they're on top of another card, then they get Ward and Evasive, both, correct?
Correct, yes.
Okay.
Very good.
Pretty good card.
Yeah.
Pretty good card. That 7-cost Clarabelle is a Floodborn.
It is indeed a Floodborn.
But you had just, I guess the term was hard casted, or hard played.
Yeah,
You had not shifted her out. You just played her.
Correct.
The turn before. We're almost at the end of the game. Anyways, this guy, this Joker right here, he goes ahead. He quests with that Clarabelle for however much it is.
2.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
I think I quested with Hero Hamada and Clarabelle and went to 15.
That sounds correct.
Which puts me at...
Which would have put you right... Or maybe it was just 16. I mean, whatever it was, you were going to have game on board.
Right. Yes.
With that, unless I took out your Clarabelle.
Correct.
That was the only way for me to try and last another turn and figure something else out.
Right.
So this Joker here, he quests him out. He's got that Clarabelle there who's just sitting nice and juicy and ready to be taken out.
She's chilling. She's chilling.
And what do? You go ahead and shift out the same a copy of the same card onto herself to now give her Ward and Evasive.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is a legal game action you can make.
Good move.
A good move.
Annoying.
Very.
But good move.
I I was a fan.
Yeah.
I'm not sure that you were.
In the moment, definitely not. But, hindsight being 2020 and whatnot, I can respect the play.
Right. So I really like the green blue. I don't know what you want to call it. I really like it. I think that is going to be my deck pick for this season, because there's a lot of different things you can do with it, and it's you thought Bucky was a problem with ward. Wait till my Diablo has ward and evasive.
It's true, folks.
And it's
bad. It's bad out there.
It's a rough life. The also the hero Hamada just protects all of your Floodborns from Sapphire Coil too.
Mm-hmm.
And if your opponent cannot Sapphire Coil your Clarabelles, your Diablos, and your hero Hamadas, red-blue cannot efficiently remove them without Be Prepared. I mean, I guess they have Maui Half Shark, but you have to rely on Maui Half Shark sticking around when I have Bruno. I have my own Brunos, You're Welcome, Sapphire Coils, and Kit Cloud Kickers. So, I mean, maybe. I think that I think it has legs. That's all I'll say. It's going to be fun to see how it goes in the Win-A-Box next weekend. Yes, we do have...
is there a Win-A-Box next weekend?
Yeah, we got a local Win-A-Box coming up at... shout out to One Drop Game Shop.
Hey, yeah.
One of the partners with our team. So... I
might have to go get me a box this weekend.
You might have to come and win it.
That's right.
Let's go win a box, Jester Dujour.
Yeah.
But
me and my pirates, we're gonna go raid it.
We're looting, we're pillaging and plundering.
That's right.
Drink up, my hearties, yo ho.
Yo ho, yo ho.
Well, your deck doesn't play a pirate's life for me, so.
No.
That's kind of...
My pirates don't sing.
They don't. They just...
Grr.
They just shoot the cannons.
There's going to be a lot of cannons in there.
There's a lot of cannons. Ba-boom. So green-blue, definitely a solid deck. Still needs some innovation, but...
You've been testing with it for a little bit. How do you like Ink Geyser?
I love that card.
Yeah.
The nonchalant, okay, I'm gonna pay three, and draw, 6 cards.
Mm-hmm.
So my favorite thing that I've done with Ink Geyser so far, is shift a Clarabelle and play Ink Geyser, bounce all the cards or bounce the Inkwells or whatever have you, and then my opponent has 12 cards. My opponent has 12 cards in hand. I have 4 cards in hand or whatever. I draw 8 cards. It's so fun. It's so fun. Okay, so we got... Do you think there's any potential in Ruby's...
Absolutely.
Oh, yes. Okay, so Shooter, hear me out. We talked about this just a little bit ago. We talked about Ruby Steel just a little bit ago, and our teammate Lycos14 was playtesting it yesterday. And what had happened was... That's how you know every story is good when it starts out with, what had happened was.
What had happened was.
So what they did was they put the 3-cost Li Shang on the board that has some clause of text, but the most important was it has resist 2. And it can challenge ready characters. That is very.
I was going to say that might be more important than the resist 2.
Yes, this is very important. So the Li Shang comes into play, has resist 2, it has a decent sized body, but then when you have Mushu on the field, it also gains another resist 2, and whenever it banishes a character, you draw a card, right? Or not you draw a card, you gain 2 lore, right? So what it does is Li Shang gets resist 4 when challenging anything that your opponent plays thereafter, and you're gaining lore. So if they can't remove the Li Shang and they're playing cards that have the 3 to 5 willpower, chances are you're going to lock them out of the game. Because they play a card, you banish it with Li Shang, you gain 2 lore, right? Because it challenges ready characters, because that's fair.
And yeah, so I do think that Ruby Steel has a very good place in the meta. What it looks like right now, we're still not quite sure. But it's resist 3. Does Li Shang only have resist 1?
I'm trying to pull it up.
Okay. We'll give us.
Rainboard is being mean to me.
Yeah. Let me bring up the old Lorcana app here. I don't want to give you guys false information because that would not be very nice of me.
No.
But to long story short, Li Shang plus Mushu, pretty good synergy. Pretty good synergy. All right, let's see. Oh, what the heck? Li Shang. Done. All right, I got it right here.
Okay, good, because my phone is not working.
Oh, okay. Li Shang does not have resist 2. I lied on that. I apologize.
Liar.
But it does say this character can challenge ready characters, and that's the important part. The other important part is while this character has damage, it gets +2 strength. So, yeah, so if it has 1 damage counter on it, it becomes a 4/3 that can challenge ready characters, and Mushu gives it resist 2. So I mean, like, that's still pretty good. So, yeah, what do you think?
And it could be better.
It could be better if it had resist 4.
I mean, if it had resist 4, or like say, turn 2, you drop out a Illumineer.
Oh yeah, there you go. Now we're cooking with fire.
Or like throw it on what's the location? Is it Maui's Place of Exile?
Yeah.
Is the location that gives resist?
It is. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Let's see.
All kinds of different things you could do to beef it up a little bit more.
Yeah, but I don't think that's necessary.
Sure, it's not necessary, but you can.
Yeah. So
why not?
Yeah.
Don't let good be the enemy of great.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I lost my train of thought. But yes, long story short, Ruby Steel is I think that it is a pretty good deck. And I think that is only going to get better the more that we play with it, play around with it, play with the build.
Mm-hmm.
There's definitely things in the list that could really set it over the edge. Like the 4-drop Raya would be really good with it, to where whenever you ink, you can ready a character and they can still challenge. So if you imagine like Li Shang on 3, Raya on 4, Mushu on 5, I mean, like, you're just challenging everything that's readied.
Oh man. Are you throwing Super Goof into that deck?
Yep.
I guess that'd be my main question is, would you run, I mean, because you got to think about uninkable counts.
Right.
You know, and it's like, is it Calhoun or Super Goof? Which one do you think is more valuable?
Kalos knows Dos. That means why not both? So I mean, like,
yeah,
there's things in the list that you can definitely mess around with. I'm definitely playing Calhoun and Super Goof both in the list. I think both of them have a very strong place in the deck. And then and then the Mulan cards that came out are just so freaking good. And yeah, so Ruby Steel, good deck.
Mm-hmm.
Amethyst Steel, good deck. Giant Cobra's a very good card, by the way. What do you think of Giant Cobra?
I think it's okay. Again, very limited experience.
Sure.
Right. And I have to flavor or like add the context with my only experience playing against, for example, Giant Cobra is when I had my Ruby Sapphire sort of the starter deck essentially that had all of those actions that I could just immediately get rid of it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, I can see how the Giant Cobra could be a very good card.
Right.
It's just very conditional.
I think that the clause of like you can discard a card to gain 2 lore is what makes it incredible.
Right. I really like that part of it.
Right.
I haven't seen the Cobra stay long enough to continue to be an issue.
Right.
Past that initial play.
I think that just like playing the card, like just playing the card, discarding like if you're playing like docks or something, right? And you have 2 docks in here. You see a lot of times people have 2 docks in their hand. They'll play a dock, no trigger, play the second dock, draw 2. Or whatever. But now we can play the Giant Cobra, discard a dock, and just gain 2 instead of draw 2, or you know,
right? Yeah.
So you get like 2 lore and a 4/4 opposed to a 1/3. That question.
Sure. I mean, it definitely. It's not a trash card by any means.
Right.
You know what I mean? It definitely seems to have its place.
Yes, I think so. Amethyst Steel is a good home for it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's the only home for it. It's an Amethyst Steel Dual Link card. It's the only place you can play it.
Yeah, I guess so.
But it's
I mean, unless somebody decides to play like rainbow format, then you could put it in whatever you want.
Then you can just do whatever you want. That's crazy.
Man,
You good?
Yeah. Sorry.
It's like you had a thought bubble.
There's some like it has to be a rainbow deck sort of thing or whatever, but like for example, sorry to go way off topic here. Remember back when we did the movie tournament?
Yeah, I like that one. That was a good one.
How much fun would it be to have like that the double singer Ursula and put her at Atlantica, so now you're singing like 5 cost songs twice. Right, like it could be fun.
I have to look at the ruling on that, because so singer is really weird to where the singing capability of the card, I don't know. What is okay, so tell me what the Atlantica does.
Atlantica is characters just count as having a cost +2 to sing songs.
Oh, yeah, that sounds kind of fun.
Yeah.
Let's do it. Okay, so we're going to try to put together a
do like a, sure, it's a rainbow deck.
We're going to...
Okay, cool. My Ursula's going to double sing Whole New World.
Oh my gosh. Just draw 7, discard it, and then just draw the next 7?
Why not?
Oh man, that's chaos.
Just have some fun.
Let's try to plan a chaos tournament where
I think if we're going to do a chaos tournament, it should be rainbow format, but Singleton. You only get 1 copy of each card.
You don't want to do a constructed rainbow format, constructed 60 card rainbow format?
Yeah, I think it could be constructed. I mean,
but
sure, right.
4 copies. Let's make it happen.
Oh my god.
I want to play.
Would be.
It's gonna be.
It'd be too much, I think.
I want to ramp and play Whole New World and Be Prepared all in the same deck.
I don't like you.
Sapphire, anymore. Steel, Ruby. What? That's not very nice.
That's true. I apologize. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
But I mean, we could definitely plan something fun like that.
Yeah.
Let's see what kind of chaos the locals can come up with.
Yeah.
We're
gonna put a pin in that. We're gonna come back to it another time.
Yeah, absolutely. That's gonna
probably nearer the end of the set.
Yeah, because we didn't do anything for the end of the last set. Which is kind of like what we typically do. Is like once everything's over, then we just have like a fun tournament to kind of cleanse the palate.
Yeah.
But I think that I honestly think that we just got so excited with set 7.
Well, we got so excited with set 7 and the pack rush events happened.
Oh yeah, true. Yeah, so
that kind of helped
that was,
seal in that gap of time.
That was the cleansing of the palate. Was we had like we had 2 pack rush events going. Well, technically we had 3 pack rush events going on. There was
a third?
Well, One Drop did their pack rush event the same day as the first chapter win a box. So it was like kind of like you scrub out of the tournament and then you play.
Oh man!
You scrub out of the tournament.
I should have known. I would have gone. Oh,
yeah,
well.
I mean,
That's on me.
I think you were on a train ride. That was the weekend you were on a train ride.
Okay, fair enough.
So, I mean,
I was riding a train that day.
you were you were steamboating along.
That's steam
or
railing?
steam training.
Steam training.
Steam train.
Steam train.
Steam train.
Yeah.
So it was a pretty good event. So moving into oh man, yeah, this weekend was like really hectic. We did events on Friday, took a drive on Saturday for good playtesting, and then today we're just recovering from all the chaos that has pursued over the weekend.
Well, and then combined with that, we did just lose an hour of time overnight.
Wait, what?
Yeah, man.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, 1 hour of your life, it just got sucked away.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Well, at least it stays daylight longer, I guess.
Hey, honestly.
Yeah.
Thankfully,
Thankfully.
Man.
You're over the nighttime.
Yeah. Yeah. It's not good for me.
Right.
You know.
Yeah, so it's like future events that are future events that are coming up. We have
Tell me about what's coming up.
We have the Win a Box next weekend at One Drop.
Mm-hmm.
Set 7 legal. Don't know what I'm playing yet.
Lorcana.
You're so smart. You're so smart.
I'm good at what I do.
I know you. You are good at what you do. And then we have a case tournament in Kansas City.
That is the following Saturday, isn't it? Is it not the 22nd?
I don't think it's the 22nd.
Or is it the 28th?
I think it's the 28th. The
28th sounds right. Yes, because I might be elsewhere that weekend.
Oh, right. Going on another train ride.
Probably not a train ride.
Plane ride.
No. I think we're just gonna drive. Potentially.
Limo.
I don't know. We haven't fully decided yet whether or not we're going on that trip.
I got you. If you're not going on that trip, are you going to the case tournament?
Probably not. Maybe.
There you go.
We'll see.
I like the maybe answer more.
We'll see how.
Just give me
I don't think my wife is watching the stream.
She might be. Let us know.
I asked her to.
He said,
asked her to.
Let us know. Type it in the chat.
Yeah. Yeah, if you're my wife in the chat, please say hi. If you're not my wife in the chat,
please.
I mean, you can say hi, but that doesn't. Saying hi does not make you my wife. That's not how that works.
Oh man, yeah. So we got the case tournament.
Yeah.
We seen today that Southside Gaming is running another event. I do believe April 5th.
We've got another one coming up already.
February, March, April. Yeah, I think it's April 5th. Oh, Jesse checking if the wife followed through. Uh-oh.
We'll see.
Somebody's gonna be in the doghouse.
Wait.
But yeah, so we got quite a few events coming up to look forward to and everything else.
And obviously Set Champs will be coming around here in a little bit.
No, yeah, I'm not sure if we've gotten any information about that. Going off of past.
I mean, going off normal, we've got about a month or so.
Right. So
it's kind of usually right in the middle of the set.
Right. So it's probably going to be end of March, not end of March. That's this month. End of April. So April, May, end of April,
somewhere in there,
May-ish, going through
those.
If
I remember right, Set 8, the release is near the end of May.
Right.
So.
Is it? Set 8's coming out at the end of May.
That sounds right. I mean, it's every 3 months.
I mean, you're not wrong. Are they still every 3 months, or did they kind of spread it out a little bit more to give the other continents a chance to catch up?
They might have, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, I can't remember.
My understanding was that it was supposed to be every 3 months, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, I mean, it's very possible that the other continents just speed theirs up to where they're releasing every 2 months or something.
Right.
Lyco says yes.
or they're forever behind. I don't know how time zones work. Is that?
I know that Australia is like 16 hours either ahead of us or behind us.
I think both.
Yeah, I think it just depends on the way you.
Depends on who you ask.
It's like if you're a glass half full or a glass half empty kind of person.
Right. Right.
But yeah, so lots of events coming up. Still no words on Worlds.
That's fine. I understand it's unfortunate for. I understand it's unfortunate for specifically like the people that are waiting for an invitation.
May 30th, LGS, June 6th, retail release.
Perfect. There we are.
So is that 3 months?
That is yeah, just over 3 months.
Okay. So, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm excited for Reina Jafar.
Yeah, I mean, I understand. I understand being an irritation for
Worlds.
the Worlds info not coming out about Worlds. I understand it being an irritation again for specifically the people that are like just invited or waiting for an invite and have to actually make plans and everything.
Right.
And I can understand it as a minor irritation for others.
Right.
But again, guys, I mean, not to like try and play like defensively or anything like that or whatever. It's like when the information is relevant and pertinent, it will come out. It will be available.
Yes.
You know what I mean? They are not hiding that information for no reason.
It's just like, I got you guys good, didn't I?
Right. Like there's...
Yeah, I don't think that there's any malicious intent behind it.
Right.
I think that there's just a lot of... I think that there's still stuff to figure out.
Yeah.
And all I can ask is that they just give the qualified players enough time to properly prepare or whatever, you know.
Right. And I'm sure that they are keeping that consideration in mind.
Right.
You know what I mean? They're not... I would be very surprised if it came out and there was like a public statement or whatever of just like, okay, guys, World's in 2 weeks. Good luck.
That would be,
you know what I mean? Like that would be quite the surprise.
Right. From my understanding, there's other card games that have done that and it has, kind of left a black eye on it.
Yeah. Yes.
So I mean, like, I don't think that
that's easy to understand.
Right. I don't think that they would do that. It is kind of weird that like we have like set 7. So we have set 7 release. It's kind of weird that we don't have any like DLC style events for set 7 that we know of.
Sure.
I mean, like, that's kind of weird because like since set 3, we've had a DLC style event like for every set.
Mm-hmm.
Does it make sense? But it's like this is going to be the first time that we have set 7, but we have no DLC style event. I mean, we have like the 10Ks and stuff like that.
Right, but those are third party.
Right,
things.
Right. So it's like, and we have like SCGCON. We have SCGCON next month too, which I'm planning on going to, but I'm not sure yet.
Oh, is that that's over in Denver?
Denver. Yep.
Yes.
Denver.
We started to talk about that.
Yeah, SCGCON Denver next month. They have a 1K on Friday, 2K on Saturday, and another 1K on Friday.
That's a lot.
That's a lot. It is a lot of Lorcana, and I am personally excited for it. It's like 1Ks and 2Ks. Like some people, there's like the argument of like the pricing isn't good enough for like people to fly in or whatever. But it's like it's also in Denver. Denver's a pretty cool place.
Yeah.
It's like if you don't, I don't know. If you don't do well or whatever, just go explore the city, go hiking or whatever.
Go have a crepe.
Go have a crepe.
Yeah, I am sure that Denver has crepes.
I would be surprised if they didn't have crepes.
If you can positively confirm that there are no crepes to be had in Denver, get in that chat. Let me know.
I mean, like, even if there's an IHOP, there's crepes, right? They might be mediocre.
There might be mediocre crepes, but there's
sure.
But it's like kind of like wins, right? Like a win's a win, and a crepe's a crepe.
A crepe is a crepe is a crepe.
But yeah, SCGCON is gonna be pretty exciting. I'm excited for that one. So we got a long list of events.
I say there's definitely a lot going forward for Lorcana.
Right, but I'm really anxious for the DLC schedule for this set or for this year essentially, because we like to forward plan,
Yeah.
Let's see. There's good crepes in Boulder, 30-minute drive from Denver, and a beautiful drive. There you go. Perfect. Beautiful scenery, amazing crepes, and you heard it here first.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I mean, like, there's even though there's not DLC style events, there are big competitive events for Set 7 that are still relevant. So I mean, like, that is by no means like what I'm saying is not like, oh, there's nothing competitive going on.
I would say there's plenty of bigger competitive events like that.
Right.
There's also a whole bunch of smaller competitive events that like you can be watching.
Yes.
Online. All kinds of stuff, yeah.
Right, yeah, so I mean, like, there's a lot. There's
the ICL's still going on, right?
Oh, we didn't even mention the ICL.
Let me go ahead and do a ham-fisted segue here.
Yeah.
I hear there's an ICL going on.
Yes.
Yeah.
There is an ICL going on. Tomorrow starts round 2 of the ICL. And
wow. Who's playing?
The Sunflower Illumineers.
Hey!
That's our team.
Not me.
I'm not playing either.
Not us.
Not us.
Not us.
So I am actually sitting this round out to give one of our newest players a chance to showcase their own abilities.
Oh, nice.
And I don't want to spoil anything.
Mm-hmm. So we won't.
So
Moving
we won't.
on.
So yeah, I definitely don't want to mention deck lists and what we're playing. You're just gonna have to watch the ICL to figure out what deck lists the Sunflower Illumineers are playing. And I know that I know one of the lists is an extremely fun list and somewhat spicy, and we haven't seen a list like it before.
Now, just to be clear, right?
Yep.
Because you're leading up all that setup and everything, and I had to stop myself from making the joke. So yeah, just to be clear, right? This like super spicy deck that we really haven't seen before, or anything like that.
Right.
You didn't steal my $9 list, did you?
Yeah. Okay.
You're not having somebody play.
Okay, you caught me.
Play my $9.
All right, sardine can's back, baby.
Say the sardine can ward list, are you?
Hey, I'm actually.
That's technically spicy.
Okay, so hear me out.
Uh-oh.
I think I might actually include one of sardine can in my red-blue items list.
Fascinating.
Because
I've been thinking about trying to go back and build after I got tempted with
the $9 list.
Well, with the items starter deck.
Yeah.
I've been tempted to start trying to build a new item deck that definitely is running sardine can.
Well, it's just like there's a lot of things this set that just like are targeted abilities, like Sapphire Coil, the Bells of Menace, and stuff like that. So I mean, like if you can just like exert your characters and they can no longer be targeted by things,
right?
I mean, like it's like it's a very tech card, and I get it, but I mean, like that's a good one of, and then like I don't know, maybe you played like the Hero Hamada, so you can just fish out a item.
Hey, if you're running say you're running a Ruby Sapphire items deck, right?
Yeah.
You've got that unconventional tool. That sardine can only costs 2 now.
Okay, so let's talk about the unconventional tool.
Okay.
That's
what they. Never mind.
I play tested with that card yesterday.
Uh-huh.
I absolutely love it.
Yeah, it's a good card.
This is the one.
It's a good card.
It is actually, the card is actually very solid. And I'll tell you the things that I was doing with it.
Were you playing it?
Yeah, I was playing it, and the card's bonkers.
So you play the unconventional tool. It's a 1-drop inkable item. Whenever it's banished, your next item costs 2 less. So what I was doing is turn 1, I would play my unconventional tool, and then turn 2, I would wait till turn 2 to play my bell.
Okay.
So then I would banish my unconventional tool to make my fishbone quill cost 1, which is good.
Yeah.
Like you're playing a 3-drop item on turn 2.
You're playing a 3-drop character and a 3-drop item on turn 2.
Right.
That's nuts.
Yes, and then not to mention that you still have 1 ink left over.
Yeah.
So you can activate your fishbone quill, get rid of that high cost uninkable card in your hand, and then play a sapphire quill in the same turn. So you just played 8 ink of cards on 3 ink. Like you just set up the rest of the game.
Yeah.
For 3 ink. Like I just want to emphasize how crazy that is. Like, it's bonkers, absolutely bonkers.
Yeah, I think there's definitely room to play with it. Both that card and that deck in general, I think it's going to see some more play.
Yeah, I mean, like I don't know. I'm a fan of it. I haven't been proved otherwise that it's not worth including. Okay, so like let's look at Sapphire Steel, right? They have 8 1-drop items, and that's what makes Bell so good in that list.
Sure.
Right? Like Ruby Sapphire now has 8 1-drop items as well that empower your 3-drop items. So your Maurice's Workshop comes down. If you're playing Maurice's Workshop in your red-blue list, it also comes down on turn 2 if you want it to.
Yeah.
Like that's what I'm trying to say. So it's good card. I am a fan. I mean, sure, it doesn't replace itself, but it lets you ramp into other things.
Yeah.
So to me, it just feels like another form of turn 2 ramp, which I mean is what you want to be doing.
Sure.
I'm glad you brought up the unconventional tool. Unconventional or inconventional, whatever it is.
Unconventional.
Yeah. So I think that, and then like the other sleeper card that I have for Ruby Sapphire is, and again, this is a non-conventional Ruby Sapphire list.
Sure.
So like,
it's the beginning of the set. Can anything be conventional?
Right. I mean, like I know you're just gonna have some of those people that are like, oh well, that's not a real deck, kind of thing or whatever, because they're so used to seeing like Sisu, the Sisu on ice.
You know what? I have a message for those people.
Oh, here it is.
Stop it.
Stop it. But it's like the other thing is like I was saying earlier, like my red blue list, I want to utilize the 4-drop Prince John where it exerts and brings items back, right?
Sure.
I think that the card's pretty good.
Yeah.
I think that if you are utilizing a lot of items and you're playing that card, you just have infinite value with cards like, so I'm running 2 copies of the Plank and 2 copies of Sword of Justice or whatever. So you can banish heroes and villains, right? And Prince John just gets those cards back for free.
Right.
Like, and you don't
Luckily, I'm playing allies.
Yeah, that's why we have Sapphire Coils and Sisus.
Oh. Ward.
You're not. Now we're cooking with fire. Yeah, Ward is actually a pretty big issue for the list that I'm experimenting with.
I'm sure.
I mean, just like Ward is a very.
Ward's a pretty big issue generally.
I think Ward is just a very good keyword to have on a card for this meta.
Mm-hmm.
It's even better if you can have Ward and Evasive.
Yeah.
Shout out Hiro Hamada, one of my favorite cards from the set.
Or Ward and Resist.
What gives that?
I don't know.
Cogsworth.
Cogs has Ward and gives Resist.
So I mean, that's a start.
Lady Cluck has Ward and Bodyguard, but she gets Resist from Maid Marian.
Blue Steel allies could definitely be innovated on the set, and I think there was actually a Blue Steel aggro list from the
SG thing. Let me give it a quick gander here.
Quite possibly. I know I had started to look at a Blue Steel Allies list just because it seemed fun.
Yeah.
But again, unfortunately, have not. Oh, cool. Thing just happened on the computer screen.
I didn't see what it was.
Our follower count, you're at 210 followers. Your follower goal was met.
Oh my! Hey, whoever just pushed that follow button, thank you so much. We really appreciate that.
Yeah, it was me. No, it wasn't.
It was me. He's just following the.
Yeah, I just now got around to following.
That's all right. That's all right. I forget.
No. It was not me. Very much a thank you to you, whomever you may be.
Yeah, for some reason it didn't pop up.
To all of you.
I was looking down and I was not paying attention. Yeah, so there was a Blue Steel aggro list.
Okay.
That made top 8 at the SSG. It's kind of like, I don't know. It looks like it's kind of like a hard. A hybrid. Looks like a hybrid list, kind of, and it looks pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
But so lots of stuff to look forward to.
In all those decks, of course, that's on
Inkdex, guys. You can go to Inkdex and look at all of the stuff from the 10Ks tournament at SSG.
And other tournaments as well.
And
it's an incredible resource.
Yeah,
an incredible website to use.
You can see what's doing well, what's not doing so well.
Yeah,
and you can see different variations of the same build and come up with your own list.
Yes,
and tweak it how you like it. So yeah, lots of stuff to look forward to. Lots of cool stuff in the set. Are there any? Oh, the one thing I did want to mention is that 9-drop Bell. I think is a sleeper card, but
the Dual Ink Floodborn.
Right.
Yeah, she seems great.
So in my testing yesterday, I shifted her out on turn 4. I shifted her out on turn 4 for free.
Good night.
Yeah, you can just banish items. You banish items and do things like
And put it back in your deck.
And then put it back in the deck. You just play free items. You banish those. You shift the bell. Then you quest for 6.
Man, I need to get an items deck thrown together.
Yeah, and the cool thing is it's not playing like anything super expensive. I don't have any Mauis in it.
Oh, nice.
I'm not playing any sort of Mauis.
Mm-hmm.
I'm playing, I think, 4 of the 3-drop Sisu that banishes a character with 1 strength or less. Or 1 strength or whatever, 1 or less.
Oh,
strength. The Daring Visit, I think it's Daring Visit.
That's the human one?
Yeah, human Sisu. And then, because, you have your Sapphire. If you play your Sapphire Coil on turn 2, then your Sisu just becomes a Dragonfire on turn 4.
Yeah.
Or turn 3 or whatever. You can do the turn 2 ramp thing. But, it's still not a punish just going Sapphire Coil past next turn, just Sisu, whatever they play.
You should send me that list.
Yeah.
See what you're working with, and
sure. I
will see what I can work with it, because, you know me, I love me some budget decks.
Right, yeah,
most of the deck, I believe, just comes out of the starter deck.
Yeah.
The
pre-configured, whatever it's called.
Right. I guess
the single-player deck.
The single-player deck.
Because it's no longer a starter deck.
It's not a starter deck. We're way past the point of starting.
That's right.
So.
The finishing deck.
The finishing deck. The finisher. How's that sound?
I don't like it.
I don't like it either.
I don't want Lorcana to end.
Yeah. That would be a very sad day. This is I've been having a lot of fun with this deck or with this game.
Yeah.
And it's it's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Are there any other cards that you think are sleeper cards? Anything that you have seen or played with yourself that you're like, wow, this card feels really good?
Shout out to We've definitely talked about it already a fair amount.
Sure.
Before, just in doing our set 7 previews.
Uh-huh.
But it was used against me in a game during the starter event. Actually, by Lycos 14.
Uh-oh.
Pulled out that Donald Duck that makes you have to quest to 25 to win the game rather than 20. And it's pretty upsetting. Yeah. It's a pretty upsetting card.
That card, it seems so silly.
It is very silly.
It's amazing.
I don't think it's going to be by any means a meta-defining card. I don't think it's going to be seeing a huge amount of play. I think it will always be something that is pretty much kept like as a break glass in case of emergency surprise card.
Sure.
And in that case, it's always going to be immediately frustrating when it shows up.
Right.
And then quickly and easily dealt with.
Yes. But it's like one of those cards. I can see there's some pretty good potential, like being one of those cards like you're playing against an Amethyst style deck. And it's like you're both top decking and your top deck's Donald Duck and they're at 19 lore and then they top deck a goat. Like, yeah. Like that's like,
yeah, that is going to be the fun stuff.
Yes. Like I don't know that it's like you said, I don't know how good it's going to be in the meta.
Yeah.
But I mean,
I don't need it to be.
Right. I mean, like, just playing this thing that you have to answer, you can't win like when you're supposed to. Yeah. It's still just pretty annoying.
I was like, something that at its core base level,
right,
changes one of the fundamental rules of the game.
Right.
Is very funny to me.
Right. So we do have a comment here.
Okay.
I think the new Mulan 1-drop make the 2-drop Amber Mulan good. What about you? I'll let you go first.
Thanks, man.
All right, so for those of you who don't know what the 2-drop or what the other Mulans it is that he's talking about is whenever this character quests, you can look at the top card of the deck and reveal it. If it's a song card, you play it for free. So it can be, I think it's like one of those cards that is going to be, okay, so long story short, yes, I do believe that the 1-drop Mulan makes that Mulan way better because that Mulan did not have a good shiftable target. And now it does, right? So do with that information what you will. Is it playable? I think it's worth testing. I don't like to rule anything out until I've actually tested it. Like, it's like one of those things. Like if you shift the Mulan and then like you quest and then you reveal a bare necessities and you take your opponent's like, ramp card or something like that, it's gonna feel really good, right? But like if you reveal, I don't know that it's a May.
Which card are you talking about?
I think it's the Mulan. It's the Amber Mulan that shifts for 2.
Okay, so the 4-drop, yeah. So it's a 4-cost Mulan. Whenever this character quests, you can reveal the top card. If it's a song card, you may... Oh, come on. Don't build a deck with it. Just show me the card.
Whenever this character quests, you may reveal the top card of your deck. If it's a song, you may play it for free. Otherwise, put it on top of your deck.
Okay, so yeah, I think that the card has legs. Because you don't have to play the song. So, if it's a strength of a raging fire and this Mulan is the only character on the board, you do not have to zap your own Mulan. So I mean, like, that is good. Yeah, I think that is worth testing. I'm not gonna rule it out until I actually test with it. What do you think?
Sure.
What do you think?
Yes.
Do you like playing free stuff?
Very much so.
Sure.
Very much so. That said, yeah, sure. I mean, I guess we're talking. Okay, so the new Mulan 1-drop, you're talking. Yeah, it's the steel.
It's the steel 2/1. You draw a card, discard.
Right, draw and discard a card. Okay. Right. Yeah, sure. I mean, it's fine.
I think the card's fine.
Yeah.
I do.
Oh yeah, hey.
Yeah, Landon, I signed your Mulans for you, right? I think that's the.
Listen, I don't know, and I apologize.
Yes, sir. See.
Hey, there we go.
We got the signed. Yeah. I will. Yeah, I do like the Mulan. I'm a Mulan fan. That being said, I do promise to make Mulan relevant in 2025. You heard it here first. But yeah, so that Mulan's pretty good.
Yeah.
It's nice that we actually have a one-drop Mulan that's actually worth playing. I will say that.
Yeah.
I like the enthusiasm.
Sorry. I'm going to be a little hostile because I've been playing a one-drop Mulan in my deck.
Oh, right. Yeah, but that card's not like... it's not a universal card.
It's very much not a universal card. It's the... for those in the know, we're talking the Mufasa deck.
Yeah.
It's the Ruby one-drop Mulan that comes out with 2 damage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's... I mean, that's a good card in that style deck. It's
not a bad card by any means.
I am not going to...
I definitely prefer putting her out as the one drop than the Moana that can't challenge.
Yes.
But...
Which, I mean, if you are
But if I'm sticking with Ruby now, I mean, that's definitely getting swapped out for the soldiers.
Yes, the card soldiers. I was going to bring that up.
Yeah.
It's crazy. So the Mufasa, it's crazy that Mufasa's only upgrades to the deck were... As it stands right now in variation testing 1.
Yeah.
Moana, the one drop that's a 3/2. It can't challenge unless you have
a captain.
A captain?
Yeah.
So
which the only captain you run is Piglet in that
true.
Mufasa deck.
Yeah.
So
you swap those out for card soldiers. Card soldiers is a 1/2 that gets +2 strength if there's a damage character on the field. So it doesn't even have to be on your side.
Yeah.
So I mean, like, card's very, very solid for that deck. I'm trying to think of like other cards that I've like tested with that I think that are like sleepers from this set. Give me 1 second here. No, you don't think so?
No, you don't get any time. Yeah, I'm trying to think. I mean, other cards from this set.
Oh, I do want.
Go ahead.
Because we brought up the Donald Duck and like changing the rules of the game, right?
Sure.
Let's talk about the Pongo. The Amber Sapphire Pongo that lets you play a puppy from your inkwell for free.
Have you gotten to playtest with them at all?
I have not playtested.
I have not built my puppy's deck yet.
Okay, so I do want to talk about this because this is absolutely crazy, right? So if you're playing Amber Sapphire with the Pongo and the puppies, this line is
Pongo and the puppies.
Pongo and the puppies. But you can essentially, if you have a Lilo in your discard, right? Because this is very confusing for people that are looking at things. If you have a Lilo in your discard and you have a Pongo on the field, you can exert 2 ink to bring your Lilo back, and then look at your inkwell and take one of your exerted inks that is a puppy and play that for free. And now you only have 1 exerted ink, and you have a free puppy in play that is unexerted. I will also like to note that if you are playing this style of deck, you are allowed to keep your inkwell in such a manner that your puppies are on one side and your other characters or cards are on the other. Now, you can't look at them later and do whatever, but it is very important that if you are playing this style of deck to keep a mental note that you ink your puppies on the right and you ink all other cards on the left.
I was going to ask, so you can't, like, if you're going to use the Pongo, you can't look through your ink to find the puppy?
Well, yes, you can do that.
Okay.
But it is very important that you lay your inkwell out in such a manner to where whenever you bring your Lilo back, that you know what that you are inking puppies instead of other characters. Because the way you want it to work is you want to exert 2 puppy characters in your ink well.
Okay, yeah.
Right.
That's okay. Sorry, you need to keep the mental note. Specifically, if you're trying to big brain, use the puppies to ink and then bring back.
Yes.
Okay.
So you are trying to maximize your resources. Sure. But I did want to make that like public knowledge that you like a mental note playing this deck. You can ink your puppies on the right and ink everything else on the left. That way, when you go later to do big brain plays like pay 4, bring back 2 Lilos, look at your inkwell, bring back exerted ink as a non-exerted character.
Yeah.
Like
that could be
it can be very confusing because like the way that the bag works and everything else, it's all about sequence.
It's as confusing as possible.
This is one of the most confusing things in the game right now. I don't know how viable it's going to be, but somebody's going to want to play puppies, like this man and like this man on the podcast here. But it is very important to note that you are allowed to do things like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Amber Sapphire, I think that an Amber Sapphire deck has very strong potential of being a tier 2 deck. Tier 1,
So what are the tiers? We'll talk about the tiers later because I think we have another question.
Okay, so he's like, I have a sleeper card question for after the puppy convo. The Diggy deck feels like it has a good spot for Bolt. But what would we play a shift target? Is it good enough at 5 ink? Does it add a layer late game where you can just play the character and gain just a little bit of war? I mean, yeah. I think that the Bolt is a good card, and I don't think you need to shift it. It was played against me yesterday in testing, and when they readied their characters with 4 undamaged characters, it felt really bad. Well, it felt really bad for me. It felt really good for my opponent. So yeah, I do think that the Bolt at 5 is just fine. It's also inkable. So I mean, like, that helps out a lot. It is not like the 5-drop lady that is not inkable. What do you think? Bolt, good card or bad card?
You know what? Just to take the other point of view, nah, it's bad. Don't worry about it. It's bad. Don't play it.
Yeah,
it's trash.
Just send them over here.
Nope.
Yep. Just send them to the Sunflower Illumineers.
We'll get a PO box set up. Just send us your trash cards.
Yeah, just send just any cards that we say are bad on the pod. You can just send them to us, and we will dispose of them properly.
Yeah.
Most likely in deck sleeves and in a deck box, and ready to go somewhere else.
Yes.
But I think it's definitely worth testing.
Yeah.
I think it's definitely worth testing. Bolt is another card that I actually forgot about. I think that Bolt is actually a pretty decent. I think it's actually a pretty decent card.
I like it.
I think it's fine.
I like it. I mean, I haven't done a whole lot of looking into it.
Right.
Just yet, but
I think I don't know. I don't exactly know what the smaller Bolt does either. I don't know that it actually has a good shift target right now for Diggy Hole.
And I'm not too familiar with the list as is.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's just an aggro. It's just an aggro Amber Steel list. All your characters are questing for 1 or 2 or 2 or 3. So I mean, like, if you're playing like a 2-drop that doesn't quest for 2 in Diggy Hole, I don't think that it's technically whatever. Let's see. Is the Sunflower Illumineer set to compete in the ICL tomorrow? Absolutely, Katie. Thank you for stopping in. The last player of our team came over to my house and borrowed a really cool deck. So, Yeah, I am super excited to see these crazy lists that people are. I gotta fix Nightbot. Sorry, Katie. The whatever you just said, Nightbot just screamed at you. Okay, Nightbot. We're putting Nightbot in timeout.
Who is Nightbot?
That's my my AI moderator.
Oh.
Yeah,
gross.
it yells at you for yelling at people.
Oh.
But it also in hindsight it also yells at you for showing excitement.
Okay.
It's a catch-22.
Yeah, that seems.
It's silly.
So everybody needs to act like the neutrals from Futurama.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean I am very excited for the ICL tomorrow and the decks that the team has chosen.
Yeah. I'm excited to watch.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna be in they're in the chat, cheering on the squad,
Yeah.
I think teammate Mason is coming over to I think he's coming over to stream here. I'm not sure.
That's tomorrow night.
Yes.
Oh man.
What? You got plans, don't you?
Listen.
Just put an earbud in.
My wife and I, we were going to go watch Mickey 17.
Yep, not anymore. Now you're watching the ICL.
But I might have to watch the ICL instead.
Just put an earbud in.
That's how big this is. I'm willing to
skip out.
I'm willing to delay going and watching Robert Pattinson.
Oh yeah. That's the Twilight guy.
For this. I'm sorry?
That's the Twilight guy?
Yeah, man.
Edward.
Yeah.
Is his name Edward?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's Edward. He's great.
I will forever know him.
He's the best.
I will forever know him as Edward.
Hey, you know what? It was a good movie.
It was fine. I mean, it was.
Yeah.
It came out when I was
in this house.
Wait, in whose house?
We stand by. On this pod, we stand by. We stand by those Twilight movies.
Yeah,
sure, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or at least the first one. After that, they're not as good, but that first one's great.
Right. Yeah. So yeah. I am very excited for the ICL tomorrow. I'm excited to see how our team does.
Yeah. I'm ready to watch.
So it's going to be
very exciting.
Gabe, Mason, and Dunbar are all playing, and I'm not sure in which order they have chosen to go yet.
Mm-hmm.
That's something I have to kind of hound them about, and I think that Mason is still working on his list or optimizing his list still.
That sounds accurate.
Yeah. I think he's supposed to be coming over to borrow some cards too.
Oh, nice.
Because I probably bought a little too much product.
No.
That way, I mean, I'm kind of like the card library for the team, right?
Yeah.
They're like, hey,
can't relate.
Hey, you got this? Yeah, I got that. You need it?
Yeah.
I got card soldiers for you if you don't have enough.
Well, right now I'm borrowing a whole deck from you.
I know.
So,
that's wonderful.
Yeah.
I'm glad you finally taken us up on that offer.
Hey, me too.
We have been trying to.
You've been hounding me.
I've been trying to let you borrow decks since set
Jester,
3.
Stop showing up to tournaments with your $8 deck.
Sardine can last set was not good. Sardine can this set.
Chance this set.
Sardine can this set.
Sardine can, baby. We're gonna make it work.
It took Sapphire Coil for me to be like, maybe Sardine can has legs.
Yeah.
And then you see the 3-drop bell able to sing all of the songs, and you're like, Sardine can. Maybe not.
Or it's nice.
Maybe not that bad.
Yeah.
And then they leaked or revealed the Hero Hamada. And then I was like, you know what? What if I just put Sardine Can on steroids on everything?
Sure, but then you have to have Floodborne characters.
Yeah.
Sardine Can, it's for everybody as long as they're exerted.
That is true. That is true. I like giving my Diablo Warden evasive. It's so fun.
Sure,
but everybody.
Well,
but everybody.
But your Diablo has evasive either way.
Right.
And as soon as he's exerted, he would have ward.
Ooh. Hey, fair points.
I mean, it's not like you're going to leave your Diablo unexerted.
Fair. Fair. I like it. I think that we should play test.
Yeah.
I think we should test Sardine Can.
Yeah. What are you doing right now?
2025 testing Sardine Can. Look at that.
Yeah.
It only took like 4 sets for that card.
Not me playing Sardine Can in big 2025.
I think
that's how you're supposed to talk, right? To be like a trendy internet person.
Right. I mean, like, I'm playing cards like the Plank and Sword of Justice in my red-blue list.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like,
when you,
a Sardine Can's at least inkable.
Say, when you get to break out the big bad Shield of Virtue?
I have a one of.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, like,
that used to be my favorite card.
Sure.
Like, set one, first chapter, playing that Ruby Emerald starter deck, I was a big fan of Shield of Virtue.
Hey, when your Aladdin is just going off, and you're just 3 ink, exert a shield.
Oh, yeah.
Ready the Aladdin. We'll take something else out. You gain 4 from challenging 2 characters.
So,
I think it's pretty fun. Speaking
of Aladdin, I was going to mention that earlier.
Yeah.
Is there a spot for him in the Ruby Steel deck now at this point, or is it just... Have we just left poor Aladdin in the dust?
I think Aladdin and Jasmine are better off doing what people do in Agrabah. I don't know.
That?
I'm not sure. I've never been to Agrabah before.
Oh, okay.
But I think...
Wait, you've never been?
I've never been.
Oh, it's amazing this time of year.
I believe it.
Yeah.
I believe it. I don't know.
Chat says dust. Fair enough.
Maybe, yeah. Chat would never steer us wrong.
That's right.
But
they haven't so far.
I think that is actually worth testing. Maybe.
Yeah.
I mean it's a 5 shit.
It's a 4-wheel or 4-lore swing.
Agrabah's a whole new world. Go check it out.
Well done. Well done.
I applaud you. I applaud you. That was a good one.
Congratulations.
Hats off to you. I am excited for possible new Jafar decks popping up.
Yeah.
I think that.
I think that's definitely a possibility.
100%. I don't think you can necessarily go wrong with Jafar lists.
I know she's there in the chat. Lycos14, are you working on a new Jafar deck? I know you've been playing one before. Is it time? Is he coming back?
Wait for it. I was gonna trade mine. Should I hold them? Wait, Jafar's?
Well, let's start with, we are not a financial advice podcast, and we cannot be giving financial advice, yada yada. That being said, diamond hands, hold on to them, never get rid of a card.
Oh my gosh.
To the moon.
Hey, I don't know. All it takes is one crazy list to happen for a card to skyrocket. I would like to talk about my boy Oswald.
I say we definitely didn't have a recent example of that, did we?
I don't think so. I mean, like, I don't know. Oswald just kind of like popping off yesterday caused a $2 legendary card to go to $35 on TCG Player. Like, what the heck?
Yeah.
So Lycos, I love Jafar and we'll try it out, but after I find my new meta deck to win. Makes sense.
Fair enough.
Everything's worth testing.
We look forward to seeing it.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know. Maybe we can come up with something hot. Something hot off the
new hotness.
Yeah, something hot out the kitchen.
That's right.
Yeah. So, what other cool cards do you think have potential? The Queen of Hearts. That's one that I wanted to test out too. The red-green Queen of Hearts.
Oh yeah,
whenever a character enters play, you deal a damage to it. Like that, I think that's kind of neat.
I definitely want to. Speaking of Ruby Sapphire,
yeah,
we've been talking about it for a little bit. Speaking of ramp, all that and everything, I definitely want to have some fun with the new Lyle Tiberius Rourke.
I forgot that was a card.
Where. What is it? I believe it is every time a card is put into your inkwell, you deal every character 2 damage.
Yes. Is it?
That is
yeah.
Because it's I know it's every character because it's
Yes.
all of yours and theirs.
Yes. Now imagine a world where you have this Lyle Tiberius Rourke on the field with like Cogsworths.
Yeah.
Like that.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
That sounds kind of fun.
Yeah.
Like I don't know what the list would look like, but it definitely. Like, you give all your characters resist 2 or whatever, and then you just ink.
And then you're just dropping to grab your swords just by inking a card.
Yeah. And I mean, like, you're already playing, like, T-pose, sails, and fishbone quills, probably.
Right.
So it's like, you're just nonchalantly dealing, like, 4 to 6 damage to everything at a time.
Yeah.
But it's separate triggers, so your characters aren't taking damage. Theirs are. Right? Because it's
right,
like
because it's when the card is inked.
Yeah, so you ink a card, deal 2 to everything. Ink another card, deal 2 to everything. Ink a card, deal 2 to... That's so silly.
Yeah.
I think we're onto something here. Gotta make sure you have those Cogworths on the field, though.
Yes.
But, yeah, that card's fun. I think the Queen of Hearts is another card that is... interesting because everything enters play with 1 damage on it, and then on top of that you play cards like Robin Hood where you gain a lore for each damage character on your opponent's side of the field.
Yeah,
and then you have that other. You've
got the big Robin Hood where
it comes at one cheaper.
Early.
Yeah. And then you have the other card that came out of set 7 that says like damaged characters can't challenge your characters.
Right.
I mean, that's kind of neat. And we have the Hyena synergy that can go into it from the last set that involves damaged characters. So, I mean, like, there might be something there. It would take a little bit. It would take a lot of testing and innovating to figure out what that is exactly.
Because the Queen of Hearts that does the 1 damage.
Right.
That's a Ruby Emerald, right?
Yes. Yes, it is.
And then you've got that Emerald Prince Philip. That is. Doesn't it banish all opposing damaged characters?
Yes, that is also another.
That's a card.
That is a card. There's actually a little combo line you can do with that Chief Bogo and the Hercules card. So it's like you have the Bogo on the field, and in turn 5 you play the Return of Hercules, and you reveal the Prince Philip, and then it comes into play.
Okay, so you need to be playing an Emerald Steel.
Yes.
Okay.
So then it's like both abilities go into the bag, and then you pull the Chief Bogo one out first and deal 1 damage to all of their characters, and then pull the Prince Philip one out and then banish all damaged characters. Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty.
That's silly.
It's pretty sweet. But okay, another sleeper, Bagheera. Okay. Bagheera's like border.
You're gonna have to remind me because I do not remember.
Okay, so
I remember Bagheera getting a card.
Yes,
but I don't remember what the card is.
All right, so Bagheera is I do believe a 4-drop. Okay, so it's either a 4-drop or a 5-drop. I think it's
steel.
It is steel.
I know that much.
Okay, so let me pull.
Okay, 4/3 bodyguard. Okay, and it does 2 damage to everybody.
Yeah, 5-drop. It's a 5-drop bodyguard, 4/3 stats, quest for 2. During an opponent's turn, when this character is banished, deal 2 damage to each opposing character.
That's a card.
I think that the card is great.
That's a card. It's a real problem.
Yeah, I mean, like a bodyguard, it has good stats. It has an on banish effect. So, and it's 100% better than Pluto, because Pluto is like a lot easier to remove with no downside, right? So like you hit it for 1 and then you banish it with something else, right? But like with Bagheera, you hit it with something and it just deals 2 to your whole board.
It's when it's banished, not just in a challenge.
Whenever it's banished on your opponent's
I know it's during
turn.
an opponent's turn.
Yeah, it's just whenever this character is banished.
Oh, yeah. No,
100% great card. I love it. Yeah, I think that the card's way more playable than Pluto.
Yeah. Only way to get rid of it is like
I will say that
you're welcome it.
Or, I will say that loosely because I think that there are certain decks where Pluto's just better. Like Amber Steel Song, I would still play Pluto over Bagheera because of Rapunzel. But if you're playing like a more aggressive Amber Steel list, like Diggy Hole, I think that you play Bagheera instead. Because then it makes it whenever they challenge your other characters. So they challenge the Bagheera, it hits everything for 2. And that's going to do significant damage to like everything. And then whenever they challenge your other characters, then you're most likely you're banishing some number of their characters while they're trade. So like it forces them to trade instead of like banish something with no downside.
Sure.
That's essentially what I'm trying to say. But so yeah, I think that the argument of Bagheera or Pluto just depends on the deck that you're playing. And that's just my opinion on it. What do you think?
Yes. I'm inclined to agree.
Yeah, I mean, like, I don't know. I think that you can't. I don't think it's fair to just say this card's better than this card with like no explanation of. Okay,
Sure.
Well, there's other situations where cards can be just the same.
It's like a lot of things. There's always context and nuance.
So the blue-red beast, not playable, don't play it. It's pay 2, banish 2 items, deal 5. It's a non-inkable 6-drop. I think that if you're playing blue-red, your non-inkable slot is already like slim. What do you think?
I'm inclined to agree with you.
Right.
I will say it was one of the cards that I immediately pulled out of the single player deck.
Sure.
For the starter event.
That makes sense. I just think
there was just no way it was going to be worth it to me.
I mean, like if we're talking about like in a constructed sense, playing Sapphire Coil and Brawl is just ultimately better than the Beast because.
Sure.
You're not. I mean, like you don't have to banish any of your win conditions. Like I consider like Tamato a Dime a win condition, right? So I think that's.
Yeah.
I think that's that. But do you have any other thoughts?
I do not. I don't think. I think I'm pretty well thought out.
Yeah, I think I am as well. And we've been going for about 2 hours now.
Yeah.
So
hey, look at us.
Hey, look at us.
And we said tonight was going to be a short one.
Yeah. It's crazy what happens when you drink a cup of coffee before a podcast, right?
That's true.
I mean, it brings you back to like, okay, I can think a little bit longer.
Yeah.
It is like one of those things. Like once I start talking, I don't know when to, stop.
I've never noticed that before.
I'm quite the blabbermouth.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. Same.
But yeah. So set 7's released.
It's out there, folks.
It's out there, and it's a lot of fun. There's a lot of fun stuff you can do with the set, and I encourage everybody to play what you enjoy. And
100%.
And if you play what you enjoy, you will find ways to make your play style molded to you, and anything is possible from there.
Yeah.
Case scenario from over the weekend. Just go check out Index and you'll see what I'm talking about. It's just like there's some off-the-wall things that we haven't seen before or we haven't seen in a very long time that are actually doing really well right now. And I get it. It's still like the first weekend and there's still a lot of things to be going on. But that being said, check out the TCG Player affiliate link. Again, QR code down there in the bottom right. If you're missing cards, if you need to order cards, everything goes back into the pod and we can bring you more content. Or keep bringing you content and keep upgrading so things get better over time. But yes, we really do appreciate everybody hanging out. And a lot of cool questions and a lot of cool thoughts.
Yeah, it was great getting to interact. Yeah. Make sure you can definitely follow Brohammington if you're not already. Follow him over on X. I think, you're on Blue Sky, right?
I am on Blue Sky,
You're on Blue Sky. You're just not really as active there.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm on Blue Sky, so you can definitely find me. I try to be active. I'm trying to be more active now than what I have been in the past.
Right.
It's just, I'm not great at social media. But we're getting there. We're getting better. But yeah, you can follow each of us there. We've got the YouTube channel, of course. We've got here, trying to bring you all kinds of different Lorcana content.
Right on.
Throughout.
Yeah, absolutely. And we are going to raid. We are going to go on a raid here.
Yeah, let's go raiding.
We have found a channel where they are case opening. So if you have not been able to open we do have a Discord now.
We do have a Discord. Just
we are working on making that public. So stay tuned for that.
Yes. And then you can really come chat with us.
Yes, absolutely.